Have you ever stopped to really think about it? How on earth do we know what happened 100 years ago, let alone thousands of years ago? Well, today we're going to find out. And we're not just going to learn about history. We're going to become historical detectives. We're chasing down clues to solve the biggest cold case of all, our own past.
I mean, it's a huge question, right? There are no living witnesses, there's no video footage, you can't just scroll through an ancient social media feed. So how do we piece it all together? How do we know what's real?
And hey, if you're asking that question, you're in great company. It all starts with a simple moment of curiosity, just like this person, Rashida, who was reading the newspaper, saw a headline about something 100 years ago and just wondered. That one little question, that spark, that's where all history begins. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're putting on our detective hats, because that's what historians and archaeologists really are. They're detectives, sifting through all the evidence, all the ancient leads, and piecing together the incredible story of us from every single clue humanity has left behind. Okay, so any good detective knows rule number one. You start at the beginning. And for the story of humanity, the beginning isn't a person, and it's not an event. It's the land itself. Our very first piece of evidence is the map. Way before anyone wrote down a single word, the land was doing all the talking. So when you look at a map like this one of the Indian subcontinent, don't just see rivers and mountains. You're looking at the original rule book for life. These features decided everything, where people could build a home, find food, and, actually survive.
This map tells an amazing story. You can literally follow the journey. See, along the Narmada River, you had these incredibly skilled hunter-gatherers. Then move up to the Suleiman and Kirthar hills, and bam, a huge breakthrough about 8,000 years ago. People started planting the first crops. And from there, follow the Indus River, and those tiny farming villages just explode into the first major cities. It's wild.
So here's the big takeaway. Geography wasn't just the stage where history happened. It was one of the main characters. It was calling all the shots. It decided what you ate, how you lived, even who you were. Before any king made a law, the land had already laid down the rules.
All right, so we've got the lay of the land. Now it's time to zoom in, get the magnifying glass out, and start looking for fingerprints, the first messages people left behind on purpose.
So our first type of clue is called a manuscript. The name pretty much says it all. It comes from the Latin words manu, for hand, and script, for writing. It literally means handwritten. And these things were so precious, written by hand on really delicate stuff like palm leaves or special tree bark.
And then on the complete other end of the spectrum, we have inscriptions. Think of these as the total opposite of a manuscript. If a manuscript is a personal letter, an inscription is a giant public monument. They were carved right into hard surfaces like stone or metal because they were built to last forever.
And just look at the difference here. It's so clear. On the one hand, you have the fragile, organic manuscript. It's like a whisper from the past. And on the other, the tough, permanent inscription. That's a shout meant to echo for thousands of years. It really proves that how you say something is just as important as what you say. So let's break it down. Manuscripts were soft, they were fragile. So they were used for things that needed to be preserved carefully, like religious texts, epic stories, or scientific knowledge. Inscriptions, on the other hand, were hard and tough, perfect for kings who wanted to broadcast their orders or, brag about their big victories in battle for everyone to see. But here's the thing, writing was a luxury. Most people couldn't do it. So what about them? What about the vast majority of people who never wrote a single word? To find their stories, our investigation has to go into the field. It's time to call in the detectives who get their hands dirty. And this is where the archaeologist comes in. These are the experts who excavate, which is just a fancy word for digging up, the physical objects from the past. They're looking for anything from the ruins of an old building to the tiniest piece of a broken pot that can tell us a story. And the questions they're asking are the most human questions imaginable. What was for dinner? What did your house look like? What tools did you use to get through the day? What games did your kids play? Every single object they find is a potential answer. So let's look at the evidence. Exhibit A. To you and me, this might just look like an old pot, but for an archaeologist, this thing is a time capsule. The design tells them about art, and they can test what's inside to find out what people were eating. This one pot is a direct message from 4,700 years ago. And now Exhibit B, an old silver coin. Again, this is so much more than just money. This little piece of metal is a snapshot of their entire world, their economy,
their politics, who they traded with. Every artifact like this is one more piece of a giant cosmic jigsaw puzzle. And when you put all these clues from their toolkit together, you can start to rebuild their entire world. Animal bones tell you their diet. Burned seeds reveal their farming secrets. Tools and weapons tell amazing stories of everyday life and even conflict. It's a complete picture, built from the silent clues that people left behind. Okay, we've looked at maps, writings, and objects. We've gathered a ton of evidence, but our investigation isn't over. In fact, we've reached the biggest plot twist of all, a reveal that changes how we have to think about everything.
Believe it or not, the most important clue in this whole investigation might be a single letter. S, as in our pasts. Plural. That's not a typo, that's the whole point. It means there is no single official story of the past.
Just think about it for a second. The past that a powerful king experienced was completely different from the past of a farmer, right? The king had his victories carved into stone for everyone to see. The farmer's life revolved around the seasons, and they probably didn't leave any records at all. Same time, same place, totally different pasts.
And this is what makes being a historical detective so challenging, but also so important. The clues from kings and queens are usually loud and clear. But to find the stories of regular people, you have to dig so much deeper, sometimes literally. History isn't one perfect painting. It's a huge, messy, amazing mosaic made up of millions of different stories. Which brings our whole investigation right back to here, to this very moment. Your phone, your clothes, your last social media post, all of those are artifacts. They're clues for the future. So I'll leave you with one final question. When the detectives of the future start investigating our time, what story will your life tell?